Hi, Professor. So, as you know, I am Noeli, and I'm still in your class. This is my sister Amber, and she's helping me with this project number 1. All right. So, what is culture to you?
To me, culture is the celebration of people's beliefs.
Yeah, pretty much. Like in my class, we talk about like culture as like a way of like share ways of feelings and thinking and acting that we acquire as members of society. So basically, like in a society, you walk around, you go out every day, and you like acquire things that you didn't even know. You just do it because people just do it, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
basically like the norm. Like it seems as normal to you.
Yeah.
So like actings, like feelings that certain things make you feel like that's what culture is.
Mm-hmm.
And for you, you have to think about it like there's no such thing as uncultured society. Like every society has a culture.
Of
Like,
course.
and people that think that there's no like that's like, for example, oh, you don't have a culture, it's because they are jealous and they think that their culture is better than theirs, or
Mm-hmm.
they're just like they just decide to ignore it and be um ethnocentric. Every society has a culture, and mostly we think about it as like a national big thing. Like we think it as a national level, but we could also think it more like into like smaller parts. Like for example, our culture, because we come from the Dominican Republic, and our friends are from here or they're from Mexico. They all have their different cultures, but as well we could think about it culture in different, like in different communities. Manhattanville as an example of culture. You know that I know everything about Manhattanville because I really like wanted to go to that school. At first, when I was not a Manhattanville community member, all the members that were there used to tell me like they were big on community service and the campus, and that's what I thought the Manhattanville community was mostly based on, because a lot of people share those values like, oh, you have to help the community. And for some reason, every single time I think about Manhattanville community, the culture, dances come along. I think it's because I was part of like Latin
Dancing.
fusion,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And Red Madness comes to my mind. It's like where all the athletes come and they make up a dance and they just like compete with each other. It was really fun. So I think Manhattanville is based on that. We went to the same middle school and
Mm.
high school.
Yeah.
What is what do you think is our high school, Manhattan Bridges High School culture?
It's like they like us like being like one community. So like we like high on Spirit Week. Like we like to do activity that come us together, like that bring us together. Since like it's like mostly Latinos in the school. They want us to share our culture and like exchange those values that
Mm-hmm.
we have within ourselves with each other.
Yeah, it's really like really nice, especially like for example in Manhattanville we do this like I'm also part of the Latin Student Association community. So what we do like little like Latinos representation parties. We also do little gets together. We also like bring musicians from outside and
Mm-hmm.
play like big band to show a little bit part of like the Latin culture. In our high school, I felt like it was mostly like since it was a Latino community, we did potlucks and we share our foods, and that was really really nice, and our
Yeah.
music as well, every single time in the lunch, remember.
Yeah.
uh but now in college there's a lot of different communities with also ethnicity wise, so like
Mm.
it's really nice to see that Manhattanville like shares those cultures, and it's not afraid people are not afraid to like talk about their culture, and
Yeah,
that's something that we really appreciate in that community. So
that's nice.
yeah. So also there's like two different type of cultures. There's the material culture, like buildings, clothes, like that. And there's also the non-material culture, which are basically the beliefs, the values, the norms. So what do you think are like material culture in Manhattan Bridges High School?
Definitely the uniform that we had to wear.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. Cause like, why? What do you think that?
Like, okay, so the uniform is supposed to represent the schools and like to make it to make the school look good, you know. So when we wear the uniform, we're supposed like to behave, you know. So like I feel that the uniform brings us together as a community, and nobody can pick on you because you look different from the other. You're all just the same.
And non-material culture, like what kind of beliefs or language does people have, or any like values in our high school?
Language, Spanish. Although we're very big on learning English, like they want us to be bilingual.
Now I have like 4 pictures here, and I want you to tell me, what do you think they're called? What do you think they are called? So right here I have 4 pictures, and I want you to tell me like what is the name. What do you call it? Like, what is this?
A water fountain.
That is a water fountain. But did you know it's also called the bubbler? A lot of people call it the bubbler, believe it or not. What do you think is this?
That's a spider.
You think that's a spider? What did we call that in camp? In NYPD Explorers?
Long leg something.
Yeah. It's like some people call it the daddy long legs.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
But other people call it granddaddy.
Lord.
Some people call it, since it's like daddy long legs, but some people call it
granddaddy. Sure.
It's funny, I know. What do you think is this little light legs?
At first, because like, I'm blind, I thought it was buildings. But like then like if you're describing it like as little lights, aren't they like fireflies?
Yeah, those are fireflies, but they're also called lightning bug.
Yeah, I heard those.
So like what I'm trying to say, like, depends on where you are from and what part you are, like from the US or another country. They call it like different things, and that's like, it depends on culture.
Yeah.
Since we speak Spanish, I also wanted to incorporate the Spanish language. And here we have a straw, and we're gonna say it in Spanish. So what is that called in Spanish?
Sorbete.
Sorbete?
Yeah.
Last time I heard at my job, she's my boss is from Puerto Rico. She called it sorbeto.
Yeah, I heard calimete, pitillo.
Calimete, pitillo. Yeah, and we literally, like, since like we're from the Cibao of the country, Dominican Republic, we call it more like calimete. Like, it's really funny because like it's like calimete, like mete is like putting in something. So it's really funny. The next term that we're gonna come is like social stability. Social stability is basically like things that you do every day just because a lot of people do it. Like, what's the first thing you do on your on the day? You grab your phone and you go to social media. Or like around, basically, you have to wait till the light turns on for you to walk in the street. So
no jaywalking in this trip.
No jaywalking in this street. Now, the next thing that we're gonna talk about is culture lag. Culture lag is basically like the period of maladjustment between the non-material culture and the new material, basically. Like, for example, before we didn't used to have phones, and now school is putting phones, and like then we didn't have phones. Like, there is like it's like a debate, but like it's new. It's like new culture, new input in things. Like, for example, our culture in our building. There was 5 schools in our building.
Yeah, 5 schools.
we followed that all the schools didn't have phones.
Yeah, they didn't.
So that was actually like it was not cultural act there in that building because they all followed the rule. But let's say if like one school did not permit it, like if they permitted phones, that would be like a cultural act because they would not all of them doing it. So yeah.
Okay. Got it.
That's culture.
Alright, Amber, now we're going to talk about the sociological imagination. And the sociological imagination is the ability to explain any person's circumstances, like in a societal, like broader scale and history context. So basically for that, we need to like differentiate what is like public issues and what is personal issues. Alright, so like a personal problem could be like, I forget to set an alarm to move my car from the parking space and then they took my car. So that's a personal problem because I was the one who didn't woke up enough, and like it only affected me. It doesn't affect you, it doesn't affect anybody else. It's only me because I was the one who didn't do it. A broader problem, like a structural problem, would be, let's say a company decides to close and a lot of people get fired. So what happened there is like a bunch of people are being fired, not only one person or a small group of people.
Yeah.
So that's like the societal. So basically sociological imagination is like the relationship like with the private personal and the structural societal person. So you need to see the relationship. For example, you might think that during COVID, let's say this, during COVID, you are getting bad grades. You're not doing your homework. And you think it's only because of you. You think it's like, oh, look, I'm procrastinating, I'm not doing homework, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then let's say if we get to see everybody, like everybody in a scale, like everybody's not doing their homework and procrastinating, that's like a societal problem. That could be a problem from the education system, not from you.
Mm-hmm.
Or because we are during COVID and then there's a lot of circumstances going back home, and etc., etc. If a lot of people are doing it, but if only it's you, there might be a personal problem. But you need to see their relationship, because sometimes you think that a problem on your own, it's only personal, but it could be broader. Well, like in sociology, like that's what sociologists are trying to do. They're trying to understand the sociological imagination. Like they're trying to understand how social historic context can affect humans, like, into personal things. So yes.